Okay, good morning. This is Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and this is our call for lenders. So you may not know this. We've been here for about 14 years. We've really been designed to help realtors in advertising, in branding, in capturing both buyer leads and seller leads. And one of the things that we quickly realized is that both lender and title professionals want to have stronger relationships with their real estate partners. And so we have a solution here that allows these types of professionals to leverage our platform to strengthen the relationships between uh, themselves and realtors. And so when we go over here to the lender and title page, you get a quick kind of outline. And I want to just walk through that because this is really the first way of thinking of listings to leads and also thinking this is how you're going to present it. And so we actually have the bullet points right on our webpage. And I think there's three major things that you are bringing to the table or introducing to an agent when you're introducing listings to leads. And that is listing marketing, automated listing marketing that has lead capture. We also have a lot of social media content. We can auto post listings. We can auto post landing pages. We have some really beautiful conversational style content that can be turned on and set and forget. And then we have a whole series of tools to help you get more listings. Okay. So one of three of these things is going to be usually important to a realtor, if not all three. And with listings to leads, you bring all that to the table, right? And so we'll talk today about a little bit of what it is, how we do it. I'll walk you through a little bit of an idea of how to set up. And then we're also going to talk about the fastest way to get buyers and the best way to get listings. I think both of those kind of points you'll want to know, right? Before we dive into the system, let's look at a presentation here that we have and just go through this together pretty quickly. We're going to make this available to you inside of your accounts. And the reason why we're doing this, I'm going to show you where it will live pretty soon. We want to make it easier for you to recruit or engage these agents that you want to be working with. Ideally, you already know some that you want to work with and you want to present this to them. But you might also just want to, after you get your arms around the platform, you might want to go and do a lunch and learn, right? And so this deck is going to be available for you, or you can email me at vince@listings2leads and I'll hand it off to you as well. So it's pretty simple, and let's just go through it together. Today, we're going to, discuss listings to leads, listing marketing, branding, lead gen, social media, database and farm, right? And then how to generate buyer leads and seller leads. And that's what I just mentioned before we came over to the slides here. But the next slide says, how do we do it? We do that through social media. You have your geographic farms. We have tools to help you there. There's a seller's sphere of influence, and we do that. And then your database/CRM. We have tools for all of those four avenues, right? And you can see over here on the right-hand side of this deck, there are some ideas, just examples of what they are. But if we keep going down the slides, the next one is social media. And basically we're saying, we're going to give you some examples. What is it? And so the next slide is going to say, we have auto posting with landing pages. And that's really a great feature of the platform. The listings hit the system automatically. If they have connected their social media accounts, we push them out automatically. This is a view of what those things look like. If somebody clicks on these, and these are free posts, they're not paid ads, there's a landing page behind it and they can capture leads. And that's, I think, one of the features that our clients really love. The next page here, it's just showing you how we capture leads and the kind of forms there. Now, if you are using this presentation and you don't transfer it into PowerPoint, because I know somebody was doing that. If you leave it here in Google as I'm presenting it, these videos actually work. And this woman, Lauren, will tell you she ran a $35 ad and she's got 3 buyer leads and she's got 1 listing. And this lady will tell you, I'm just getting all kinds of leads overnight. So you can look at this on your own and understand the flow, what's going to happen. When we keep going on social media, we're going to let you know we've got a bunch of PDF guides and we can auto post those to your social media for you. We can also, you can put them up there one by one if you want. We also have landing pages. And so when we talk about social media, we can also auto post those. So if it's becoming clear to you now, or it's starting to become clear, there's a lot of lead capture associated to social media. And then here, this is the free content area. And I'll show you where these things are inside the platform. But this is just a really new kind of part of the system where you can set it and forget it. Not too much lead capture there, except the PDF guides do have landing pages and we're auto posting those. But it's a really nice feature for agents who want to take care of their social media, but don't want to manage it on a daily basis. This is an area where you can set it, forget it. Then we move on to the farm, right? And that's like a geographic farm. What's your favorite area that you, for a realtor, that they want to build their business? And so we have tools for that, right? We have print tools, we have door hangers, we have postcards, we have nearby homeowner letters. We also have home sold letters. And these are all effective. They all have call to actions. They have URLs that people can type in and get answers. And then we keep going. We have our PDF guides that I mentioned for social media, but a lot of people will print those and leave them behind, do door knocking, things like that. And then if we keep going, there's another page that says, even if you don't have listings, we've got tools that are going to help you. And so there are times for agents when they have listings and there are other times where they don't. And then here we get into the top tool for more listing. I'm going to show you this in detail on our mastermind group. And I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about the top way to get buyers and the top way to get sellers. This is the top way to get sellers. It's called a nearby homeowner letter. And there's an example here from one of our clients who, gets 5 listings in 3 months, mailing that letter out twice a month to his target audience. This lady here, Pat Motley, this is an kind of an older video. It's a couple of years old, but she actually just put something in the mastermind group this last fall. And we're going to go look at that because it's very compelling and it's very current. And then, you get text IBR with your listing. So every listing has its own code. If an agent wants to print up a sign writer, this can be really effective. When you're getting leads this way, you're getting leads with phone numbers. And I think everybody always appreciates that. Also for your farm, we have multiple kinds of landing pages. So we have a FSBO landing page. So if you want to use that as part of your business strategy, this is a good way of getting listings as well. Then there's expired landing pages. I'll show you the landing pages in a minute. And then there's just an example of what's going on, what people are saying. And then we have, if you just keep going down, we're going to be talking about the sphere of influence. So we build tools that are meant to go to your owners, the listing homeowners. And this gets leads that are a little more akin to a referral, right? Because they're leads not from just the random internet, but from your current clients, friends and family and colleagues, right? So then we've got our database. So there are tools that the PDF guides, we have the way to deliver those through your CRMs. And there's just an example here. And we have many examples of clients who have got a bunch of old leads. They take one of our e-flyers, they blast them out. There are hyperlinks in there to get people to click and ask for more information. So it's basically reactivating old leads, right? And then there's drip campaigns and there are e-flyers, and we're just giving you examples. And then lastly, these are the things that are going to help you. We have a great Instagram channel. We have a great YouTube channel. We have a mastermind group. You can ask support. Now we'll go look at the mastermind group in a couple of minutes. And then we have live training like today's class, right? And if we keep going down, I think there's just some things out of the mastermind group there. So this will be inside your account. Let's log in and let's go have a look. I think I saw Joe on the call coming in. Oh, let's take some questions while we're here before we keep going. Give me a second. I see a couple questions, so let me jump on those. Okay. This is being recorded. Yes, Kristen. And Scott, I did not. Yeah, I did see that message. Yes. By the way, regarding the nearby homeowner letter, which we're going to look at, Corey was saying he got 17 listings from just that letter in 2022. So there's plenty of evidence to support what we're going to talk about. Let's just keep moving. So this is a lender account. And what I want to explain to you, and a title account looks very similar to this. The only real difference is lender accounts tend to have some co-branding and title accounts don't. Okay. So if we're looking at, this is the dashboard, you can see leads in here and you can see your listings, things like that. You can also have a graphic here, which is giving you like up to date what's going on. And Joe here is a new client. And so this is relevant in the most recent way. It's not, he hasn't been client for months. So let's talk about the two things that are the two ways, one to get buyers and one to get sellers, so that we can just get that off the table right away. Now, the way to get buyer leads that we typically do here is that you're working with agents. So you add agents, and ideally those agents have listings. And you can, from here, we can click on somebody's listings. And an agent in the setup, we're going to get into the setup a little bit later, can run an ad very quickly, right? And I'm going to show you how fast that is. You click on market listing, and right here are all the tools that we're auto generating, but we're just going to focus right now on how do we get buyer leads, right? And because right now, had we been talking a couple of years ago, homes sold in 48 hours. Now they can take a few weeks or even a couple of months. So if you've got a real estate partner that needs to get buyer leads, this is the fastest way to do it, right? Now, an agent can go in and do it themselves. This is actually Joe's business page. But when an agent has their business page connected, it's going to say sponsored by that agent's page. All you have to do is click that button there that says Facebook and Instagram ads and click create ad, right? And that's going to generate an ad on Facebook that looks just like the preview on the right. And the leads that come in are going to have name, email, and phone number pre-populated from the Facebook profile. So this is one of the top ways of getting leads with phone numbers. And I definitely recommend it. Again, if you're looking for buyers, this is the fastest way of doing that. Now, on every listing, you'll see we have virtual tours and we have flyers and we have postcards. And I will tell you this, when you're talking to a realtor, many realtors are from some of the biggest agencies or brokerages in the country, and they will have a lot of tools that sound just like this, right? The difference from those tools and ours is that all of the things that you see on this white column, this list, they all have multiple call to actions. And so our focus is not just branding and advertising, but capturing leads. And if you're talking to somebody from, let's say, Remax or Sotheby's or Coldwell Banker or Century 21 or any of the big franchises out there, they're going to be focused on branding, right? It's going to look good. It's going to have the colors that are the company colors. It's going to have the agent's pick and probably the agent's phone number. But the agent's probably fairly familiar with the fact that nobody's really calling them all day long, right? And that's where we come in, where all of these tools that we could go through are going to have call to actions to either get buyer leads or seller leads. And so when you are saying we got listing marketing, a lot of agents are going to say that they have that. They don't have lead capture with it. So let's talk about now the number one way to get listings. It's called the nearby homeowner letter. Every listing has a nearby homeowner letter. I just clicked on it right there. By the way, you are co-branded on it. I'm going to download it here and we'll look at it really quickly. It's not the sexiest tool in the world. However, it's the most effective way of getting high quality listing leads that turn into listing contracts. So let's have a quick look at it, right? How can that be? And here it's co-branded, right? The agent, the lender. It says very simply, we got a home for sale and you can go check it out right here, or you can text that number. We'll send you a mobile website. It's also always going to say, and this is really important, when this home is sold, it's going to affect your home's value. And that's the mantra in many of our tools. If it's an e-flyer, this is a print tool right here. It's a piece of paper. Our postcards, everything is saying, hey, here's something that's for sale, flip it over. That affects your home value. Get your free home value. It's one of the reasons that many of our clients have said over the years that every time I market a listing with your platform, I get one or two more listings, right? Of course, we're going to help them get buyers, but increasing their listings is really, I think, a bigger goal for us, right? And that the reason why I'm telling you this is when you're bringing any kind of technology solution to your real estate partners, you want to make sure that you are helping their business, right? You're helping them grow with more buyers to sell their properties. If you can help them get more listings, you're probably going to have a partner for life. And that's why I'm pointing this out. And then we'll go look at the mastermind group real quickly to give you a little bit more evidence. So if you're a client, please go to the support page and ask them to get you into this group. There's a magnifying glass over here, and I definitely recommend that there's a couple names that you want to look at. Pat Motley, Chris Winstead, and Dustin Fox. And I think Scott was just saying Corey is, I don't know if he put anything in here. Scott, did that message get in the mastermind group or just directly to you? But let's look at Pat Motley because Pat, she actually has a little video in that presentation that we were looking at together. And she put something in here in September 2023, last year. And it's the nearby homeowner letter, right? And she's taken this, got a little bit of custom data here that's about the 1 mile radius of what's going on. And it says, hey, we just sold a home. Go check it out. And this affects your home value. So this piece of paper has a lot of value for anybody who receives it. Now, what Pat's done, which I've never seen another client do, she's had a lot of success with this tool for many years, but she's now taking it to the next level and she's printing on the back so that it looks like an envelope. And she takes the time to fold it and handwrite these envelopes. Now, why in the world would she do that? That's a whole heck of a lot of work. Most realtors don't want to do that kind of work, but she has mailed 200 of these out to a list that she bought of homeowners with, I think, more than 5 years equity. Okay. So she's mailing it to the right target. They are around her current listing, I think within 1 or 2 mile radius. She mailed 100 when it was just listed, and she mailed another 100 on this post here when it was just sold. She got 4 people calling her on the first batch of 100. And then she got another 3 calling her and 1 texting her on the second batch is what we're looking at here. So from one listing, she has 8 people reaching out to her who want to sell their home this year. And that's really an important thing to showcase, to let people know, hey, I've got all kinds of great social media content. I've got ways to help you get buyers, but we've got a really great way of getting more listings for you. And let's do that. Right. So that's inside the mastermind group. And as I said, we can look at Chris Winstead. He's got a similar story. They do it slightly differently, but they're basically using this tool in the way that they think is best. Now, you see here that we've got something that says Connect Express Copy. And we don't have in this account, we're not connected to Express Copy. So I want to show you what Express Copy, why I'm even mentioning this. And that is, what I showed you a minute ago or earlier was how to run an ad on Facebook. And we know that this is the most effective way of getting buyer leads, right? And now you're looking at the nearby homeowner letter, and we know that is the best way to get listings. But we also know that most of our clients don't really want to take a whole lot of time to do anything, right? They're busy. They get a lot of phone calls. They're doing a lot. So they don't really have the time to sit there and do what Pat Motley did, right? But and for our clients that do that, they definitely get the benefit. But I think just over a year ago, Scott and I keep banging our heads on how to make things easier for our clients. And we found a company called Express Copy that gets that letter out without all the work that Pat Motley was doing, right? And our clients have been using this tool and doing it by hand for years. But now we have a company called Express Copy, and we've got some integration to make things really simple. So what does that mean? First, you want to go set up an account with Express Copy and you connect it here. And then this little button will say print and mail. So let's look at that. This is basically, it's great. It's the simple way of getting this letter out, right? That's bottom line what it is. You click get mailing list. You can decide, do I want a 1 mile radius or 2 or 3 or whatever? We'll leave it on 1, but it's going to target people with more than 6 years equity that own single family homes. That's the point. Get that high value letter to people that have equity. All you have to do is click get mailing list and click submit order, and Express Copy downloads the letter, they fold it, they put it in the envelope, and they mail it to the people. They basically have a national database of everybody with equity. And that is really a simple way to get it out. Okay. So I want to leave you with this. We'll jump into another part of the presentation here. And that is, when you're going to get agents in here, you definitely want to let them know, hey, we've got if you got properties we need to sell, let's get it. Let's get some ads out and get you some buyer leads. Right. And if you need more listings, let's get this out. So now we know, okay, these are the big things. I do want to point out, we have a YouTube channel and we do live training every week. Okay. And I go through a few calls and Scott goes through some other calls, but you can see them all here. This call that we're doing today is also being recorded and it'll be right here. There's Get Started, which I do. There's Facebook and Google ads, and then there's top tools for more listings. So we really only talked about a couple of tools here, right? But you're going to want to know kind of everything that's there. And what I often will, if I talk to you, I'm going to send you a link to this page right here. And I can tell you this, because we've been doing this for a long time. Realtors don't really like to watch 1 hour long videos. It's just not their thing, right? And I understand that, but I do want to impress this upon you. For our clients who invest time to learn how to use our platform, their business grows. That's just the bottom line. They get more buyers, they get more listings, they build their brand, and their business grows. And that's really what you are trying to help your clients do, right? I talked to lenders who are full on coaching realtors, right? And why would they do that? Because they are trying to get a stronger relationship with those people. And really with our platform, you have a lot that you can bring to the table and talk to them and discuss it and help them leverage it. So let's talk about, and the reason why I was telling you about the YouTube channel is we're not going to go into all the detail of the entire platform today. What I want to talk about right now, though, I'm going to log out of this and I'm going to log back into a lender account, is what do you do when you're engaging an agent, right? And when we started the call, we had a presentation. I definitely recommend you email me. We're going to try and get this inside the platform, but let's look at what's available right now and just to get your arms around it. When we go to the agents tab in either a lender or in a title account, you're going to be able to do one thing. You're going to be able to invite an agent or just straight up add an agent. And this is what we had originally. This is what our clients were doing, is you'd put in their name and their company and their email. Then you click add and we would send them a welcome email. And I've had plenty of conversations with lenders getting them on board. And one of them that I've had is where a lender said, hey, I have 5 seats in my account, and that's the pricing. It's $150 for 5 seats. Agents don't pay. And I invited 5 agents, and now it's 2 weeks later, and only 2 people have logged in. Okay. So 3 people didn't even log in. I said, yeah, that sounds about right to me, right? That sounds like these people are busy. They're getting 100, 200 mails a day, and they don't even know what this is. So I want to talk about how to engage an agent, because that's, if there's a real engagement, then this platform is just going to blow them away. And that's really what you want to have. You don't want to underwhelm them. You want to highly impress them. And so if you just add an agent, and let us send a welcome email. They may not get it. Right. And so if you are talking to an agent and you feel like, hey, I really want to introduce this person to this platform, I recommend you have a quick call with them and you tell them what you have. And maybe you go through this deck here, right? That we were talking about earlier, the listing presentation, right? And you get on the phone and you just say, hey, these are the things that we have. Would you like to be in there? And if they say yes, set a time and log them in, add them here and get them to log in. And here's why. When you add somebody to the account, you're putting in an email address. That's part of the system, right? You put their name, you put their phone number, you put their email. And we take that email and start auto sweeping their listings, right? And so we'll send tools to them. And if their photo's not there and if their company logo is not there and their colors, they may be like, what is this? So we want to make sure that when you're doing that, that you get them in and set things up. So when you come to the system the first time, there'll be a bit of a wizard walking you through account setup, right? And make sure that you get those things done. Make sure you get the company information. Really important. Make sure they connect their social media accounts. This is for auto posting. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes what auto posting looks like, but we talked about it in the presentation. And you want to make sure that you're connected that way, right? Make sure that you connect your ad account, right? So that you can run ads or the agent can run ads on their listings. And if you want, set up social content, and the social content is that area where there's just all kinds of colorful conversational content going on. And let's go back here and then connect your CRM and activate your text IVR, right? Make sure that your folks do that, that your agents do that. And the really important thing that I want to stress is on the social content area, which is over here, if they connect to their social media and they turn on some of those kinds of topics, a lot of really great content's going to go out and the agent's going to get notified and you're going to be copied. If you've gone through all this setup, which maybe takes 5 or 10 minutes to set everything up, we're going to auto sweep their listings. We're going to have their branding. We're going to auto post it to their social media. And if they're lucky, they might actually get free leads. That's a really great thing to have happen. It happens to many of our clients. And that's if they went through that setup really quickly and then it goes out. And now your real estate partners are really excited and impressed by what you've got. So I really recommend, the whole point of what I'm trying to tell you is go through the setup, get them, make sure that they are doing that. And I don't recommend that you set it all up because you probably don't have all their login codes for their social media and stuff like that. But if you can get them to walk through there, they can walk away. If you then say, hey, do you need to get buyers? Do you have listings that you need to sell? Then yeah, you can go over there, get the listings in the account and run an ad right away. And a lot of people do that. We just had an office or a lender sign up this week. And I think in the first day, one of their agents was running ads. And you're really helping an agent right away do that. Okay. Now, the other thing that I really recommend, and this gets into the conversation of what does the realtor really need? And so let's go to landing pages and let's talk about that for a minute. Every account, I think you get 3 landing pages, maybe more. I think we're adding some, but they get a free home value landing page. They get down payer assistance and they get new construction. I guess maybe it's the iBuyer that's new, but you can create unlimited landing pages. Okay. And what I really want to make sure that you're doing, because this really sets the idea for your real estate partners that you're going to help them get listings. And here's how you do it. You ask them, what's your number 1 farm area where you want to grow your business? What town is it? And they may say, let's just say Princeton, right? I know Joe is over here and I think he's up in that area. Create a property valuation plus page and name it whatever they say, whatever town they give you, just create the landing page. I would highly recommend, we'll see this kind of pop up in a minute. The first thing we show you is put a new background picture in it. And we're just waiting a second for it to do its thing. So definitely get a picture of some great landmark and put it right over here where it says upload image, make it like 1900 or 2000 pixels wide. It's going to cover the whole thing here, right? If you do this, the agent knows that you've just created something that's going to be useful for them to get more listings. You don't have to actually move on it. You've just started the process. And I really recommend you do that so that they understand you're going to be able to help them. If you click in advanced options, you'll notice that there's print tools for that. There are postcards, there are door hangers. You can auto post it to their social media. There's even e-flyers. If they've got a deep database, right? If they got a deep CRM, you can copy and paste and blast this out. I definitely recommend that you get that background picture going first, because what you're going to be doing is asking people for their address and contact information, and having something that they can recognize and they know this is not a national spam campaign is going to work out better. That's really setup, right? I think you want to include that in your setup with agents, because now they know, okay, we got to come back. So what can happen is if you've set everything up like the way that we did on the wizard and we pull in the listings, things are going to start happening automatically. There's a lot of auto posting, stuff like that. But if they need buyers right away, you can run an ad right away and start getting leads. And if they need, you can call them in a following week and say, hey, now that we got you some buyer leads, do you want to talk about ways to get more listings? And they probably will, because you've already succeeded in getting buyer leads. So that's really the process, I think. You don't want to force the whole platform on anybody in one day. Get the automation going, get some ads out if you need to get buyers, and then come back and say, hey, there's a really great way of getting you more listings. Let's talk about that. Back there on that subject, I'm going to bring us back to this top tools for more listings here. I actually talk about many ways and the best ways of getting listings with our platform. You might want to be familiar with that, and your real estate partners are going to want to be familiar with that. So that's a little bit of how to engage agents, right? Now, I want to also, because I think I didn't go over it in depth, back on the agents page, there's a section that says invite agents. And we're going to make this more robust, but this right now is what we're giving you to like essentially engage agents. So you can run an ad as a lender or as a title professional to just tell people, hey, we've got a really great solution here to help your business. There is a social media post. Sorry, my mouse is really weird. So a post is free, okay? An ad, there's an ad spend, there's a budget. But on a social media post, it looks almost identical. And you'll notice here that we auto posted it. Okay. So you actually don't need to do it. We'll do it for you. And then there is an e-flyer. So if you have a database of, let's say, a bunch of realtors, you can send this to yourself. You can copy it and blast it out. There's even print flyers, and there's a landing page. You might have some socials or some areas where you just want to share a landing page, and you can put this out, right? Give this to them. And this is going to help get interested agents to start the communication process with you. So that's here. We're going to be building this out to make this easier for you to engage agents. And that's where we are there. So Scott, let me see. I think there was another thing I wanted to go into, but I think you asked, can I make you a presenter? So let me see if I know how to do that, because it's with a new platform. I definitely, let's see here. Scott, I am going to enable your mic.
Can you hear me?
You know, if you can talk, Scott.
Yeah. Can you hear me talk or no?
I can. Yeah.
Perfect. And let's
We're making you the
take my
presenter.
screen.
Yeah. Give me a
see
second. I think you're the presenter now, Scott. See if you can do that.
It looks like it. All right.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Perfect. And can you see my camera on me or no? Looks like my camera's not on. That's totally fine.
No.
It doesn't matter. We have a bunch of lenders on the call today, I assume.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what I want to do is, this is pretty new. This was in the mastermind group, somebody asked, and she wanted to attract renters into buying a property. And so
Hey,
she
Scott,
wanted, Yep.
Scott, let me just, before you keep going, guys, for me, when this opened up, when Scott started presenting, there was a smaller window at the top right are some arrows. If you click that, it'll expand it to be full screen so you can see what Scott is doing here. Sorry, Scott.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Right. So with the idea of, and I've heard this from other places, a lot of renters are going to be moving into the buying properties, they think in 2024, 2025. And so she wanted to be able to capture what was our current rental amount using an ad. Did you know that you can maybe buy a new property for the price that you're spending in rent? Right. So stop renting, start owning, stop throwing your money away, stop paying your landlord's mortgage, those kind of ads. And so let me just show you. I've done a little bit of training on this. This is still a pretty kind of a thing I'm thinking through, but let me show you here. If I do a Facebook ad, PDF guide, what I'm going to do is combine a down payment assistance PDF guide while capturing the rental amount in the Facebook lead ad. Vince, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you do it, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll think this. Yeah.
Yeah. So let the PDF guide workspace come up. So I will select the buyer guide. I could have also just typed in down payment assistance, and there we go. Down payment assistance, create ad. So we'll do a lead ad, right? So lead ad is going to capture name, email, phone number automatically. Standard for a buyer ad, we're also going to capture their purchase timeframe. So when are they thinking to actually buy? So right here under advanced options, you click create new form,
Scott.
and then you got these things. Yes.
Yeah. The web interface is moving a little bit slower. So as you're clicking, you're almost like in advance. So right now we're looking at the form now where you have the form questions.
Well, let me go back into the work area. So that's the standard work area that we're all pretty familiar with in listings to leads. And what we want to do is add a question here. How much are you spending a month on rent? So I click advanced options, create new form. And then here you're going to see form questions. And so we've pre-built this question. And if you scroll down, there's a slider on the far right. And what is your monthly rent budget right there? And you can also do that one. So there's two of them. One will actually give you predefined ranges. This one will just leave it completely open. And I'm going to go back up and I'm going to turn off what's your time frame to buy, only because the more questions you make people answer, the less likely they are to answer. So we're going to get name, email, phone number automatically. And so I just want to now find out how much are you paying a month in rent? And you'll see here in the ad, I can edit it and I can say, attention, wholesome home buyers. Did you, or this way, you may be able to buy a home for your current rental payment. Right. Obviously, we're going to word that properly. That's not worded perfectly, but you get my idea, right? We're trying to get people to understand, hey, how much are you paying a month in rent? You may be able to buy a house for that same rental amount. So we will do publish. Now my ad is going to go out there for Folsom, California, $35 a lifetime for 1 week. And when people click the ad, that first custom question they're going to have to answer would you fill out what is a rental? What is a rental amount? And that way, as you're following up with these leads, not how much are they paying a month in rent, right? Get some other information from them and be able to pre-qualify them, I think, a lot faster with more intent, because now they know, hey, listen, they're a renter. They know they're throwing money away on rent. And there's so many great call to actions on that one. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage. Stop throwing money out the window. You can rent for, or you buy for what you rent for. So there's a lot of great call to actions there. And a little bit later, I'll actually post a link to this in the mastermind group, and you can click through and you can actually see how that works. Oh, here, let's take a look at it right now. We'll show ad. So this has been sent to Facebook and Instagram for review. And here's the ad. So attention, Folsom home buyers, you may be able to buy a home for your current rental payment. We're going to click, what is your monthly rental or lease payment? I'll just say it's $2,000. Next, name, email, phone number. Next. And now I'll be able to download that down payment assistance PDF guide. I'll be able to download it here. It'll be sent to me via email. And as the mortgage lender, I will now get their name, email, phone number, and monthly rental amount. So I can call them up, email them, and engage them much stronger. So anyways, Vince, that's all I've got. I think we'll do more training on that at some point soon. And I know that for lenders, I think this will be really powerful.
I would do a quick 5-minute video on that too. And
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll drop out, Vince, and we'll talk a little later.
Okay. How do I get back to where I was? So there's one more thing I want to discuss. And if you have questions, please put them in the chat panel. So one thing that we can do here is one thing I want to talk about, and Scott mentioned it, is following up with leads, right? And as you're gathering, there's a lot of ways to get buyer leads here. There are a lot of ways to get listing leads. You will be copied on leads. So if you're a lender, you might actually want to say to the realtor, let me follow up with those people, right? Let me make sure they're qualified so that you're not driving them around all day for no real good reason. Joe, did you want to make a comment? I see that you want to just put it there, or do you want me to unmute you? Let's see here. I'll unmute you, Joe. Just hold on a second. Let's see. Enable mic. Joe, I don't know if you can hear or speak, but you said you wanted to make a comment. Let's see here.
Yeah, I sure do. Oh. Echoing.
I hear that. Might have to type that in, Joe. Or lower your volume. Yeah. Your speaker volume.
Yep, let me do that. Is that better?
Yes.
I got to make it a little higher so I hear myself talk. Anyway, so I appreciate Scott and you for doing this. The fact, I've been in business 32 years. The first 10 years of my career, I hated realtors. I starved. I'd latched into a product that's no longer on the market, and it was cutting edge. And when that fell apart after 17 years of paying them and being loyal to it, I got to tell you, it's nothing like listing the leads. Listing leads is 1,000 times better in functionality and structure. But what I learned as a loan originator is that if you can't beat them, you join them. And I've spent the last 20 years of being a positive energy thought process to a realtor to give them energy, but give them these tools to expand their business and marketing. Okay. And I don't want to take too much time, but if anybody wants to reach out to me directly, we're having so much success with listing the leads. I don't want you to think about the technology part because it's all part of learning, and everybody learns at their different paces. But as an olive branch that you're offering a real estate agent to take a part in a partnership to help them grow their business, benefits everybody. And it doesn't matter if you put somebody in 6 months ago and they haven't really done anything. It gives you a reason to call. They feel guilty because you know you're trying to help them. And if they're not really doing their marketing correctly or their commitment to their business, it's not your fault. But you never know when somebody you put in is going to explode and start utilizing. I can tell you stories for an hour. Recently, January's come. It's time to reset. Every January, everybody wants to remarket themselves and rethink their things through. And I put somebody in 6 months ago and they put an ad out and they got 7, 10, 13, 14 leads. I'm really a busy guy. I never saw them. He never connected his Facebook. And I reached out last week and then we connected a couple of days ago. He's the computer illiterate. I use Zoom. What I do is when I get somebody going, I say, we need to spend 15 minutes on a Zoom call. You need to be on it with me. You're going to share your screen. I'm going to connect your social media. Within 15, 20 minutes, you'll be putting content on the internet. And if you have a listings, before you even pay for an ad, it'll be all over your Facebook, and give yourself 24 to 40 hours and you'll have people to call. It works every time. I just want to say that I don't want to take too much more time. If anybody wants to talk to me and tell me what I'm doing, as we're talking and I was listening, I'm texting leads that came in recently. And I have this down to a science where we do emails and we do texts. We give them links to get pre-qualified. We send them back to the realtor if they want to see the property, whatever it takes. But I tell you what, this system has made us so busy. We don't know what to do with ourselves, and we haven't even got started to create leads. And one last thing, I live about 40 minutes from a town called Wilkes-Barre, PA. It's taken me a lot of time. I'm about to make a presentation to 3 mom and pop offices that have between 25 and 35 agents each. The keynote, each one of these offices has a realtor working with me with listing the leads. And they keep chirping to the broker, this is awesome. You need to share this. Last point, don't worry about a competitor called KB Core. I talk to agents that have it. They don't use it 90% of the time or more. It's too complicated. 60 hours of training, no live help without paying for it. They don't use it. What makes this go is this is so simplistic. I got people that are EXP agents that have KB Core. They're using this because we made it so simple and we make them, it turns into lead production within 24 to 40 hours and they're hooked. One last comment. It doesn't matter if you put a bunch of people in this and they don't utilize it, because if a person doesn't want to use it, but they're still sending me referrals, I'm okay with that. Just to let you know, a spot's a spot. That's it.
Joe, thanks. That's great. I know we've been talking a little bit over the year and you're finally getting your arms around the platform. That's awesome. And I appreciate that. So cool. That's great. I'm going to put you back on mute, Joe. Thanks so much. Let's see. This is Mike. Cool. Let me say something, and I'm sure Joe has a bunch of experience with this, but one thing I was saying before is as you're getting leads, you might want to follow up with those. And there are also things that you can do. So I talk to a lot of different lenders, and part of it is, hey, let's get the agent to engage, right? Let's get the things turned on and let's get things going. But a lot of lenders realize it's a heavy lift to get them to use this like consistently. So a lender might just say, you know what, I'm going to run ads on your listings, agent. Is that okay? And I'm going to get those leads myself, but I'm going to qualify them and then get them back to you once I know that they're ready to buy, right? And that's a different kind of value. And a lot of lenders like to do that. You'll notice here that we have this is our leads tab. If you're connected to your CRM, these leads are going to auto flow in there. And then I'm sure Joe has some sort of connection like that. There's a process of converting leads into an actual transaction. Often lenders know really how to do that, and they're a little more consistent with that activity than an agent would be. Oh, let me share this for anybody on the call. Joe Lanza can be reached at 215-953-9585. We got questions for him. So I just wanted to let you know that there are different ways to approach the platform. The other thing that I didn't mention earlier is when I said that you have landing pages, that agents have landing pages, you as a lender and title officer can create unlimited landing pages, your account, and you can run ads on either Facebook or Google or Instagram with it, right? So you have all those things available to you just like an agent does. And one thing that you have in the PDF guide section, and we didn't dive into this too much today, but there's I think 80 PDF guides now. There are 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. You also have an extra 11, which are related to loans. They're high level. You're branded on every page. So if you're a lender, this could really help you out here as well. And if we click on market, you'll notice that you can run an ad on Facebook. You can run an ad on Google. You can do a social media post. There's an e-flyer that you can blast in your CRM and print and things like that. All of these options all capture leads. Okay. And that's really, again, what we're all about. So there are things that you can do just as your own. And just as an FYI, and then I'm going to open it up for more questions. We are going to, as soon as I get off this call, I'm going to be in a meeting with Scott and our dev people to create a couple of landing pages for all of you. And these are going to be designed where one of the concepts that's out there, and I was just talking to a lender yesterday, is refis are becoming a real thing because basically the pitch is if you bought your home in the last year or two and you've got a high rate, now is the time to refi because they're going down. We're going to create a landing page that you'll be able to run ads on. that you'll have e-flyer and print for. And so we're going to make that happen. And the other thing that we're noticing is there are loan packages out there that are designed for certain kinds of professionals, first responders, doctors, things like that. So we're actually in the landing page section going to make it so where you can create that kind of landing page just by clicking create landing page. It will be one of the new options. I think it'll probably take us a week or two to get that in here, but it'll be here, and just keep your eye for that. I don't see any questions. Let's look here. I don't see any questions. So I appreciate you joining me here today. And if you want this presentation, and it takes a while to boot up, but the presentation that we started off with earlier today, if you would like a copy of this, email me at vince@listings2leads, and I will send you a link to this, and then you can use this in your presentation. Joe, I think you have this, right? But I definitely would recommend, if you're doing a big presentation, this is a good way to start that. Anyway, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this helped. This is being recorded and it will be on our YouTube channel. So don't forget, go to our support page. It's down here in the bottom left, and ask them to get you in the mastermind group. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.